Well, hello and welcome. My name is Anita, and we are sitting in Andrew Church council room, actually, and we're from Andrew, Iowa. This is Salem Lutheran Church, I'm sorry, and this is our first conversations with the congregation. It's videos geared towards getting to know and learning more about our elder congregational members.
Not that I'm elder.
We're gonna pick their brain and see what they know, and they're gonna share some valuable life lessons with us, tell us some funny stories, and talk about their faith a little bit. We're gonna laugh and cry and have a good old time. Salem Lutheran Church here in Andrew is affiliated with two other churches called the Trinity Parish of Jackson County, and Jackson County is in eastern Iowa. We're right along the Mississippi River on our eastern border. The church in the north is St. John's Lutheran Church in St. Donatas, Iowa. That's in the northern Jackson County. And then a little further south is St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Lamont, Iowa. And then again, we are here in Andrew. Yep. And this church has a lot of history. It's was actually formed by German immigrants in the 1860s or so. And my next guest is not quite that old, but
there are mornings, yeah.
But we're gonna get to know our friend, and Dwayne has been a lifelong Iowa resident, and he is on the church council, as am I, and we are elders at this church, and he's also a very gifted singer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, he's been on the choir for a very long time, many years. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dwayne Barr, Mr. Dwayne Barr. Thank you for coming on. And
thanks for asking, Anita.
This could be fun.
Yep, it will.
Yeah. All right, Dwayne. Yeah, you were born in Iowa.
Yeah, I was born in the Macocata Hospital, and so at that time, Mom and Dad was farming down in Spragueville, and that was in 1954. And then a year or two later, then they moved up to the farm up by Lamont.
Okay.
And that's basically where I grew up at.
I see. And then, were you baptized in this church?
I was baptized in Spragueville in
okay.
Salem Lutheran in Spragueville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, what do you remember most about the place where you grew up, Dwayne?
Well, I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of responsibilities,
Was it a pretty big farm?
Oh, a couple hundred acres.
Yeah.
For the time, back in the 50s, that was an average size farm.
Pretty good size.
At that time, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But a lot of chores, but interstrewn with chores was some fun too.
Exactly.
We was always, all four of us kids were out doing chores, and Mom and Dad, and there's always somebody teasing somebody about something. It's throw 3 hay bales down while you throw one down, and kind of
That's true.
Get yelled at a little bit, but that's
Yeah, no,
but it was all in fun.
Your background's really similar to mine. We should tell the audience this is kind of a part 2, because we talked earlier, and this is going to be great to kind of get a little more info from you. And you had siblings. How many did you have?
Yeah, I had a brother and 2 sisters.
Brother and 2 sisters. Yeah. Yep. Sounds good. And then, what are your fondest memories about your parents or grandparents, or your family in general? I guess.
I have a lot of favorite memories. I guess I don't know how I would.
Yeah. I know, I know for my family, we farmed as a family, and the Christmases and the Easters and all that.
The holidays, the holidays together. And,
yep.
Yeah, and among my fondest memories, we had a cousin, Gloria, from Arizona, and the town kid, so she would come up and spend a week or so with us in the summertime, and follow us around doing chores, the chores we did every day, and thought they were pretty mundane, to put it lightly, but everything was new and exciting to the town. And we had, relatives from Davenport would come up and spend a couple of days with us. So that was
Yeah.
that was kind of the high point of our summer, you know. And then like when Gloria, then before she go back to Arizona, then we would have a family picnic, and Dad rented different pastures around Jackson County, but in a pasture there was always a creek or a stream, whatever, and we would always have a picnic down by the creek, and so that was
light a fire and something like that.
Fond memory, you bet.
I bet, yeah. That sounds really, really nice. It really reminds me a lot of my childhood, actually. Yeah, and then your siblings, you know, you did when you weren't doing chores, did you have a little fun?
Yeah, I can remember, you know, after chores and supper and everybody was cleaned up, you know, especially in the summertime, you know, we always had bicycles and stuff, and we were, you know, playing hide and seek and just playing outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And I guess, something else I used to do as a kid, you know, you always had your toy tractors, you know, and you'd be plowing sidewalks and disking sidewalks, and
exactly. Yep. My brother did the same thing. Yep. That Joe Diffie song. It's drove 100,000 miles on my knees.
Yeah.
That was like you and people that were farm kids.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
That's right.
Yeah. They were like little farmers back then, even before you
that's
were.
Right.
Farmed. You farmed later in life too, didn't you?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yep. And then, did you have any nicknames at all while you
No.
growing up?
No.
Yep. And then, this is kind of a funny question. Like, did you do anything that annoyed your parents when you were young, or anything like that?
Well, at times I think everything I did annoyed my parents.
Exactly.
But nothing intentionally. You know, I guess the only thing I ever got in much trouble for was, well, maybe a little grumbling or, you know, talking too low. What'd you say?
Right. Nothing.
There's a reason I said it quietly.
Exactly. You were smart. That's funny. Tell me about your first car. What was your first car?
It was a '69 Plymouth Satellite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, what's a Satellite? Is that something different than a?
It was a lot like the Roadrunner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of on that.
Yeah.
And I bought that from a friend of mine come back from the Air Force. Dennis Heiserman. I bought it from him. So.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you bought, that was your first car you bought then?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Paid $900 for
it. That's pretty cool. You heard it here that, you know, back in the 70s, you could buy a car for under $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
Like a used car.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And it was only 3 or 4 years old when I bought it. So
really?
Yeah.
It's not like it was, you know, an older car.
No.
Wow. I mean, now you can hardly buy a piece of furniture for that price.
Yeah, you're right.
And this has wheels and everything.
That's right.
That's funny. What was your first movie that you ever saw in the theater?
Well, you know, the first movie that comes to my mind was not in a theater. It was in school. And it was in the old gymnasium in the Andrews School there. And they had some kind of big white screen up on the stage. And, you know, and I don't remember for sure the title of it, but I think it had to do with Monkey's Uncle. And it was some kind of a science thing where the monkey and the scientist kind of swapped, and it was
funny.
Yeah. But I can remember sitting cross-legged on the floor in the gym. And
you have pretty good memory to remember kind of what it was about and everything too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember, you know, watching movies like that in the gymnasium too. That was kind of a fun thing. It was almost a treat, really, you know.
Well, it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because we did, you know, like when we're on the farm, you didn't watch, you know, much on TV or anything like that. Or
no.
Didn't even have TV for. You know,
we did. I'm not that old. Maybe you are, Anita. I don't know.
We did too, but but I know some
But
families probably, you know,
Oh,
didn't have it for a while anyway. So what was your first job? Can you tell me about that, Dwayne?
You know, I would help some neighbors bale hay when we got done baling at home and stuff, and I remember after Milton and Patricia, my sister and brother-in-law got together, then some summers I would help clean brush out underneath telephone lines. But my first job was I worked down at Caterpillar in Davenport, and started down there right after graduation in '73.
Really? Okay. Yeah. And what kind of work did you do for Caterpillar then?
I was a warehouse clerk, shipping and receiving clerk.
Okay.
Drove fork truck.
There's probably a lot of people that work there. I imagine it's a
Oh, yeah.
pretty big plant.
Yeah, there was, I think 3,500 at its peak.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I know that would have been a great job. I know my uncle had a job, worked for Caterpillar. He basically retired from Caterpillar. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a great job.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I bet you did. Yeah,
for factory work,
probably
it
met
was good.
Met a lot of people and stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. A lot of interesting people.
Yep. Who was your mentor, or who influenced you? Kind of any part of your life really? Who was someone you could kind of look up to, or
Yeah.
kind of mentor?
I suppose that'd have to be Dad.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot of other men growing up, to be honest
That's
with you.
true. Yeah.
Or, I just didn't know a lot of other people growing up other than classmates, But, yeah, it would have to be Dad, just.
Did you have a grandpa with you?
I was fortunate enough. I knew all four of my grandparents.
good,
And yeah,
Yep. And then what was your dad's name?
Ray Barr.
Ray Barr.
Yeah, Raymond Barr.
And was there anything that Ray, like you could say, like stood out to you that, man, I'm really glad he showed you this or taught me that?
He was always very diligent in what he started. He started farming and just
they were kind of
done
driven.
that all his life, and
Probably more driven. They had goals and
I mean, even into his early 90s.
Oh, really?
He went up to the farm every day. We had rented the crop ground out by that time, but we still had 35 head of stock cows, and so.
Yep, and the older farmers, that's what they did. I mean, they even though physically they couldn't maybe do so much, they oversaw a lot of things.
Yeah. But not only in farming, in church too.
Right. He was involved with the church.
Well, he was involved. Him and Mom made sure that us kids got Sunday school every Sunday. If we weren't Sunday school, something terrible happened.
Oh, really?
that we couldn't have been here.
That was they had a strong faith that you grew up with a strong faith.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful.
Yeah. It's served me well.
And I think that's good that the parents find that important and take their kids to church.
Well, lead by example.
Exactly. Yep. I agree. And then, how did you meet your spouse, Dwayne?
Oh my.
Well,
I guess my earliest recollection of Diane, she also went to church here, and we went to school together. She was 2 grades ahead of me, but she says she's only 1 year my senior. We won't go there, but anyway, yeah. So, my first recollection of Diane is when she was a helper in Bible school.
Oh, really?
And I was into my junior high, and she was in high school, and I don't know.
I remember Diane. She helped at the school too. She was like a teacher's aide.
She was, yeah. That's when we were first married.
So I could kind of see her doing the Bible school too, early on. But, and then you started dating.
We did, but then of course we didn't start dating at that point. But so then I don't know. A few years later, we were somewhere, and I don't know. We just kind of got to talking, and I don't know, a couple date. We dated for a year or more, and so
So how old were you when you got married?
19.
19.
Yeah.
And how long have you been married?
50 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, 50 years last April 20th. So.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations.
Well,
that's really nice.
Thank you.
And then you have children?
Yes, we have 3 children.
3 children?
Yeah.
And what kind of walk me through?
Well, we have Chris Schneider. Her and her husband and family, they live down in the Green Island area. They bought his family farm. And Carrie, our middle daughter Carrie, married Sean Petish. Some of you probably know Gloria Petish. They have 1 son, Max, and Sean is in the service. They're down in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, wow.
And then our son Aaron is a assistant principal with the Des Moines school system.
Oh, nice.
So, and they have 2 boys.
Oh. And they live Des Moines area?
Yeah.
That's great. That's really great.
Yeah.
What's the secret to a long-lasting marriage, in your opinion, Dwayne?
You gotta work together.
Yep.
Yeah. You gotta work together, and I don't know. I suppose, you said like Dad and Mom as a mentor, you just don't quit.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
There's no winner, no loser.
Yep.
You just work
Yep.
it out.
Yep.
Because every day ain't gonna be perfect.
No, that's for sure.
It's just
No.
the way it is.
Well, you must have the secret down. That's
Well,
pretty good. That's a lot of little give and take, and
yeah, there is. Yeah,
Yep.
it's got to be a give and take.
That's very good. What do you guys do for fun? Like you and your wife Diane, do you, like a
Well, we're drawn to a lot of musical things. We like to go to
yeah.
gospel music festivals.
Mhm.
We do a couple of them a year, and
And you both sing in the choir.
Yep,
Diane
yep,
sings
yep,
with you. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
that's
yep.
really good.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
Like I said, we like to bicycle and camp, and
Yeah, that's good. Good. Keep
it is.
exercising
Yep.
and stuff. Yep. What do your children take for granted now that you never had growing up, or what would you like your kids to maybe experience that maybe you had and they didn't get a chance to?
I think okay. Well,
That was a long
no, it's okay.
question there.
What do my kids take for granted? Kids and grandkids.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the instant knowledge that
Right.
they have at their fingertips in their phone or online. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's sometimes it's too much. You know,
It is,
but I
yeah.
mean, you know, they just have the world of knowledge at their fingertips.
They do.
You know, and if we really, you know, if we were asked to do a history report or a report on anything, you know, it was,
Right.
you know, get the encyclopedias out and,
Yep. Exactly.
and maybe dictionaries to figure out what the word even meant. And,
Right.
you know,
Right.
so
A little bit different. You know, it's a little more research.
Yeah,
And
yeah. That's back when research was research. You know, nowadays
that's yeah, it's totally different.
It
Yeah,
is, it
yeah,
is.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah.
It's looking up things was a lot different back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
you bet.
And then, yeah. Anything else like growing up that maybe I'm trying to think.
What?
I guess. I guess my point was, you know, kids. You know, I think they're distracted a little bit by.
I think so, you know, and what did you have growing up that I wish they had experienced?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think I was going to say chores, responsibilities,
Yeah.
but you know,
But it's true.
but they just had a different style of chores. You know, they were responsible to their schoolwork first, you know,
Right.
and they had responsibilities. They were all in sports, you know, so they had responsibilities to the team. So, you know,
It's a different.
yeah, it
it's
is
different for them.
different,
Yeah.
same but different. You know,
Yeah.
it's all
And I think their-
responsibilities and
Their
owning.
responsibilities is maybe even more than what we had as far as like activities and things with the kids and it's.
Well, I think they sense. I
Yeah.
think they sense peer pressure maybe more than
That's probably true.
than
yeah.
what we had. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, our
It's a
our
lot to
biggest
keep- a
our
lot to
biggest
keep
peer
up.
pressure was, you know, did the cows get fed?
True.
But,
yeah.
you
I
know,
mean.
yeah.
Yep. That's true. It was a little simpler life
Yeah.
than maybe that they have now. I think.
Yeah,
Too. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess
You
if
know,
we could
you
boil
know, for
that
like-
down to, I wish they could have a simpler life.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, you're mentioning about you know going for picnics and you know
Yeah.
just relaxing at a creek or something. You know, that'd be something that boy, that'd be kind of neat to if they could slow down a bit. You
Yes.
know, that way. Yeah,
You bet.
yeah, yeah. What events impacted your life? What most impacted your life? I guess.
I guess just different chapters of your life. Marriage,
Yeah.
you know, impacted things, and being a father, that changes things too.
Yep.
So I mean, you know, as your life evolves, there's just a whole lot of things that impact your life.
It's true. You know, it is chapters.
It is.
Your
Yeah.
life is.
It's like a book.
It
you know?
is. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you look back,
Or-
I don't remember this guy, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like it's
yeah,
totally different. What are you most proud of in your life?
My children.
Children?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They all have done very well. You know,
Very successful. In
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
lives,
You know, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. They, you know, and you know, they all have children that they're raising.
Great kids. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That makes you feel good.
it
for
does.
sure.
It does.
Yep. For sure. what was the best day of your life?
Anita.
That always sticks you.
Yeah.
I think that stuck you last time. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose when I got married,
Yeah.
I think it was the best day of my life. You know,
Yeah.
I could talk about baptism and confirmation and all, and those were great days too. But I don't remember them. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I remember being confirmed, but I mean,
Right.
you know, days like that in your Christian life, they're important days.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And she's like your best friend, probably.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yep. What was the kindest thing that anyone has ever done for you, Dwayne?
I don't remember if it was late 70s, early 80s. I was working down at Caterpillar, and I don't remember if I was laid off or strike or what the deal was, but I was off work for quite a while, and I got jobs here and there, you know, and a lot of local people would hire me, and that was helpful, you know. But I had one guy come up to me after church, and he says, "Dwayne," he said, "how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good," you know, and he said, "Oh, seriously, financially," he says, "You doing okay?" He says, and I said, "Yeah," I said, "We're getting by," you know. And so anyway, he says, "Well, you know, you need some help." He says, "Let me know." He said, and it was some, I'm not going to tell you his name. He's no longer
Right.
with us, but anyway, you know, it wasn't somebody that you would think. It was
Right.
one of the quieter members of our church.
I think that's
mean,
really special that, he knew that maybe your plant had
Oh yeah,
laid off some people, and he was kind of worried about you. And
yeah,
that's really nice that,
yeah.
he come up to you like that, and
Yeah.
and things like that makes you
Well,
appreciate.
it does,
you know,
and it really stuck with me.
Yeah, it must have. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. What was your favorite quote or saying or must-read book?
Quote or saying must read book.
I remember last time we talked, it was you said you only have one chance to do it right.
That is one of my favorites. Yeah,
I like that.
you only have one chance to do the right thing.
That's right.
I guess I'll stick with that one.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Can you kind of give me an example of that, or elaborate a little more on that?
Well, you only have one chance, and sometimes you do the right thing or what you think is right, and maybe it isn't, and then you can always apologize, but it just speaks so much more of a person that, if you make the right call and you go out of your way, like, geez, I really don't want to do that, but that's what you need to do.
That's true.
So just do it.
Yes, I like that. I like that, Dwayne.
I think that's a tennis shoe commercial. Is just do it, but
that's a good way to live your life, though.
I've really tried to live it that way.
That's very good, Dwayne.
Not that I've always done the right thing, but I always thought it was.
I think that's true. You do have one chance, and that's decisions that.
I really don't want to slow down and go do that visit, but you know what? They need the visit, and so did I.
Yeah, exactly. Then you, right now, your job is you deliver pharmacy.
Yeah, I retired from the DOT 5-6 years ago, and since then I've been working for Osterhaus Pharmacy, delivering meds, and I just love it. I call. Well, I deliver to a lot of shut-ins, of course, and people that can't get out. So it's given me a chance for outreach.
Yes.
And
I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense that you go that extra mile, to basically bring some joy to someone that.
Well, and you can always tell,
who needs it.
Someone and I've gotten several hugs, and I've prayed with a couple.
I think that's one of the nicest things you can do is pray for someone or pray with someone.
Yeah.
Pray with them is
and not not everybody's open to that. You always but I don't know, one part of my life I was in sales, so you kind of learn how to read people a little bit, and
that's true.
And I've never been
where you're not pushy or nothing.
No. you can just tell.
You can tell
You know.
who needs help and
Yep,
who don't.
yep,
Yep. Well, I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
kind of like your guy that helped you out. You know, he kind of
Yeah, that's right.
He could
Yeah.
tell, and he stepped in like that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
really nice.
Just a lot of times if a person just knows that somebody else is there,
Yeah. Oh, it makes a huge difference.
It does.
And it brightens their day.
yeah,
It really
yeah,
does.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. I love it. What things are still on your bucket list, Dwayne?
I really don't know if I have a bucket list, Anita. I just,
Yeah.
I like doing a lot of things, a lot of different things. We, music and ride bikes and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Like I say, I retired 5-6 years ago, and
Yeah.
we got plans of working on that list. It's
Yeah.
and one of these days I'll do that. But
Yeah. Good.
we just kind of both enjoy life as we go along, and
Yeah.
different opportunities arise, and
Yeah.
and I think it's
Well, I like how you just you enjoy life in the
Yeah.
present, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Which is really good. If you could be any bird, what would it be and why?
Well, when I read that question, the first thing came to my mind was a red-tailed hawk.
Mhm.
Because I just think they're neat. I just, they pounce down. And then I thought, well, how would I compare it to a red? I'm not that aggressive. So then I thought, well, you know what? I kind of like them hummingbirds in our backyard.
Uh-huh.
They're a lot more fun.
They're pretty and
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're fast and
Yeah. They're just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that question kind of you think about it like, well, if I was a bird, I don't think I'd want to be a bird that, like you said, as a prey.
Yeah, bird of prey. Yeah.
Bird of prey, you'd rather have
Yeah.
be a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Here's more of a serious question for you. What does being a Christian mean to you, Dwayne?
Mhm. I'm forgiven. I'm not expected to be perfect.
Yep.
You just do what you think is right, and
Yep.
if it ain't,
Yep.
I'm forgiven.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yep. I like what you said last time. There's always a Father in heaven to talk to.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I've always got somebody to talk to.
Exactly. And I think too, with the people that you work with, they need reminded of that. Like, hey, let's pray and let's talk to the Father.
Mhm.
I like that. What kind of advice would you pass along to young people about being a Christian, or what would you like them to maybe learn or experience?
Well, about forgiven,
Yeah.
You'll never be so low that you can't be forgiven, and and there's,
that's true. And I think people don't realize that they get stuck in their.
Well, I think people beat up
Yeah.
on themselves too
Yeah,
bad.
oh, they
Think,
do.
well, I'm just, well, that's you've always got somebody that's got faith in you and hope
Yes.
and forgiveness, and
Absolutely.
it's just, it can't be that simple.
It is. Yeah.
It's just
No,
that simple.
I like that, Dwayne. I
Just-
like that.
Yeah.
What part of your faith or faith life would you like to pass along to your kids or grandkids?
I guess what I would just echo what I just said.
Yeah.
And be kind to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's part of your faith walk too, is being kind to people.
Right.
You don't know
What they're dealing with.
what they're dealing with.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know, a couple of my children work with the public quite a bit, and they get in these cases where, and then that's not that they get involved with other people's home lives, but they can see what's going on at home. So then, they try to make adjustments for that. And
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I'm kind of dragging my feet here because this is my last question because I'm enjoying talking to you. How would you like to be remembered, Dwayne?
I guess, if somebody say, Dwayne, he was okay.
Dwayne was a,
Yeah, it's just that simple, you know, it's
Yep.
just,
Yep.
yeah, honest and
Yep.
straightforward and,
try to do the right thing,
yep, yeah,
be kind and
Yep.
humble
yeah,
and help other people when,
yeah,
when you
that's
can.
right, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That's kind of the message I'm getting from you.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the world can be the world can be a lot easier place if we'd all just kind of
Yeah.
learn to get along and work along, you know, because nobody's always right, nobody's always wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Just,
Good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, thank you, Dwayne, for
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
I enjoyed talking with you and getting to know you better. And,
Yep, it's been
Yep.
fun.
Yep. Well, thank you. And this ends our session with the conversations with the congregation. Sorry. Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
Well put.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks again. To the side.
You're going.
Okay. Testing.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Would that be enough?
Okay. Yeah, well.
Probably.